Here we go.
Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well on this Thursday. It's terrific Thirsty Thursday, and you're looking absolutely amazing, I must add. It's been a while that we've been here together. That's it, you and me, talking about this case. That's the Idaho 4 and Bryan Kohberger, because it's been a minute. It's been a minute, and can I just say that you're looking absolutely amazing if I haven't said that already. And I hope I'm not the only one who said it, because you deserve more people to say it. But yeah, like I say, it's been a minute, and we got Bryan Kohberger. There's been a lot of docs filed, and I was going to do a live and go over them, but look, I saw that there's other people who are going over the docs, and a lot of the people who are over here also go over there, so I thought, you know what, I'm not going to do it, let them have their moment and go through the docs. And I'll just do a bit of a summary, if you like, as to what's going on and my thoughts to what's going on. So basically, the be-all and end-all of it is that Bryan Kohberger's defence team are challenging a lot of the evidence that's been used against Bryan Kohberger, or a lot of stuff that's been collected on Bryan Kohberger. That's the most important thing, I suppose. Not so much about it being evidence, but about it being information that belongs to an individual that's been collected by a law enforcement agency or agencies. And it would seem that it's been suggested that a lot of this information that's been obtained has been done so in a manner which would step over the realms of being legal. And I suppose this is where we go into a grey area now. Because look, you know me, if you've been over here enough, I'm someone who believes that Bryan Kohberger, I don't think he did it. And the reason I don't think he's done it is because I haven't seen any evidence that I'm happy to conclude that it's indicative of a guilty man. And despite the fact that there's a lot of people out there, whether it be the Gonsalves family or just people who are so far up the Gonsalves family's arse that it's hard to define where they start and the channel ends, do you know what I mean? Because that's how it is. I heard someone say the other day that one of these channels were going to be doing a video about DNA being found in Bryan Kohberger's car. Where the fuck did they get that information from? But anyway, that's by the by. Point being that, like, it's going to split the room, because people are going to be in camp Bryan Kohberger's guilty, and they won't see any wrong in this. They won't see any wrong in it. In fact, they will try and spin it like this is an attempt for the defence team to pull the wool over people's eyes and to say that this is just delay, this is just trying delay tactics and all this shite. Do you know what I mean? And it ain't about that. Take it this way, right? Ann Taylor believes that Bryan Kohberger is innocent of this crime. And she's in a position very much like me and anybody else who's around these communities who believe that Bryan Kohberger, it's not been proven, been shown that he's done the crime. Ann Taylor may very well be in exactly the same position we're in. Now, Bryan Kohberger could indeed be a clever motherfucker and he could be guilty. And maybe he has told her, look, Ann, I didn't do it. Absolutely did not do it. And she has fell for that hook, line and sinker like we have. And maybe that's the point. But Ann Taylor's still got a job, and the job is to try and get Bryan Kohberger off of this crime, irrelevant of whether he's done it or not. That's her job. She has a duty to perform an action, and that action is to give him the defence that he is entitled to as a person. So then she's going to look around and she sees all these things, and she hasn't seen anything that is a slam dunk that suggests that he did it. And people will say to us, you think Bryan Kohberger is innocent, you wait till the trial. All this will come out and it'll be a slam dunk. Well, she should have seen that already. Ann Taylor should have seen this. Anything that they were going to bring forward to say he's the man, she should know. And I bet my bollocks to a barn dance, she ain't got no more than what we've already seen. She has got no more than what we've already seen. And what I mean by that is this is either going to be a trial by ambush, or there is no more. And they're going to depend heavily upon bias, the perception of Bryan Kohberger that is out there already, which is very, very likely why they have allowed the media and allowed Steve Gonsalves and co. and all these multiple entities to just crucify him publicly. because it's like what we've said before. When you go into that courtroom, it's a story, isn't it? It's whoever's the best storyteller. But if the jury already fucking hates the accused, they can't stand him, and they think that he's a killer already, and they're convinced of such, then it's going to be very, very hard to reset that, to reset everyone's mindset, because in the back of their mind they're already thinking that he's guilty of this crime. So then we have a situation where Ann Taylor looks at all these things that she has been given and think, well, hold on a second, they ain't been done right. They have requested this DNA information for months upon months upon months upon months, and many of us have concluded that that DNA evidence was collected illegally. And what I don't want people to do is to believe that this is just a ploy to make people believe that a guilty man is innocent. Because I don't think it is. I believe that what we're witnessing here and what is seemingly being portrayed in these issues that Ann Taylor has raised is right. Is in that there is they've been obtained in a manner that is not correct. Not correct, and that gives you two things now. That means you have to answer this question, and that is, are you willing for the government, for law enforcement, for the powers that be, to have a power to do whatever they want in order to get the result? Now, some may say, if a man is guilty, then in hindsight, the argument's always going to be, well, they're lucky that they did that, because if they didn't do what they did, they may not have caught this guy and he could have walked free. And there is going to be some degree of that. But ultimately, by opening these floodgates up, it gives them the ability to do whatever they want in order to get what they want. And what we've witnessed previously is what they want isn't always what's right. And this is going to further allow them to do it. This trial is no longer simply about Bryan Kohberger being tried for a crime. This is about many, many branches off of that. It's going to be about a guy who, when you look at the evidence, doesn't seem to be guilty, but the media and a lot of people already have him guilty. We have a family that is publicly obliterating him, and they have made some statements that is indicative of either leaks or insider information that they shouldn't have, and that is not being dealt with. And then you have an accusation that seemingly is going to be able to be upheld, and that is that a lot of the information that they have was illegally obtained. It's a mess. This Idaho 4 case is a mess, and I've said this previously, and that is, if Bryan Kohberger is guilty, then he deserves to fucking burn for what he did. But we are going down a real stony ground of, even if that guy is guilty, which I don't think he is, but irrelevant of that, he could walk because of law enforcement's inability to do their job right. To be pressured, to be put in a position where there are entities above them that put them under so much pressure and scrutiny that they make mistakes. Or they enable someone to point the finger and say, that's your guy. Now, there was something in the back of my mind that believes that Bryan Kohberger's sister, one of his sisters, pointed the finger at Bryan. I believe that that's happened. Now, I could be absolutely wrong, but that's my mindset. I believe that someone pointed the finger at Bryan, and the rest is history, and they needed to reverse engineer this case, and that's what they did. And it's now starting to fall apart, because in order to do that, because the evidence didn't exist, they've had to make the evidence exist, and that's where we are today. But even in the media, I look in the media here, and the media are spinning this. Again, they're just spinning it. They are not questioning the validity of what Ann is saying. They're not saying anything other than what the defence do and is delaying. And they should have done this earlier. Why are they doing it? And just pointing in the direction that this is an issue with the defence, but not a valid issue to bring up and speak about. Well, surely this case, with the amount of people and eyes it's got on it, at the very least, mainstream media should be saying, hold on a second, this is something that needs to be addressed. This is in the interest of the public. and their rights. Are their rights being upheld, or are they being trounced on in the background while people are getting shat on? And then you have the Innocence Projects having to come forward and get these people who have been in prison for years, getting them out because of shit like this happening. And is Bryan Kohberger going to be another name added to a long list of people who have been wrongfully convicted because the powers that be are allowed to do what the fuck they like, when they like, and nobody challenges it? Let me know down below, and I'll catch you all in video 2 later.